Hello everyone and welcome to today's build. Today we're going to be taking a look at the tiny living stuff pack and creating a little micro home based on tiny home residential. So see here we're going to be choosing the tier 1 micro home, which is only 32 squares. Firstly we're going to add some lot perks. So we're going to go for the homey, which works on some home skim building, and natural light, which is good for painting and good stuff for that. So yeah, you see all the different perks you get for the different tiers. Tier 1, you get the highest perks, so that's why we're creating the micro home, which is a max of 32 squares. Not a lot to work with. So let's see what we get going here. Figure tiny little base, and then on top I was going to do a really tiny little attic with some awesome slanted roofs, which are going to have a great window in the roof. So building with these roof tiles is actually so cool, the kind of stuff that you can do. I've taken this from a tutorial from Marmalade, I think it was. I'll include the link in the description. But it's actually so amazing the kind of stuff you can do with these with a roof tool, building the different shapes and everything, and actually adding in these awesome window roofs, which I'll show you in a second of how that gets put together. But it's actually so cool how it all fits into place. It's just sort of a kind of bit of work where you have to get involved with the tilting and the camera and the angles and all of that. But check that. Check once you put the little window in with the see-through pattern, see-through roof pattern, and just kind of adjust the tilt on each of the roof panels, you can get this cool, awesome little feature. So that was the initial, obviously that looked a little bit crazy, so I decided to just cut it down a little bit to size too, and just use your standard gabled roof. So yeah, here we got the gabled roof, perfectly symmetrical, with a tiny little attic in there that we're gonna eventually turn into our bedroom, a single sim bedroom and painting space, which we'll see in a little bit. So here I was just expanding the house just a little bit to get to that 30 squares, and then the 2 additional squares will be made up with platforms you'll see later on. So yeah, that was a pretty cool start. Tiny little teensy micro home. Not much space we're gonna have in it, but essentially it will be a livable space where your single sim can enjoy painting, writing, gardening, whatever their heart desires. And with the awesome perks that you have with the micro home, you get additional skill building. You have lower bowls. There's so many cool things that happen in this tiny living stuff pack. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, I decided to use the ladder to be able to get up to the attic. It takes up the least space, and it kind of just works for this build, kind of attic bedroom, getting up the ladder to get there. That's pretty cool. We also got this 2x2 bathroom, which I tell you is a challenge to get a fully functional bathroom in a 2x2 space. So yeah, that's going to be some fun times there as well. Yeah, we eventually ended up putting the windows on all the sides, and eventually deciding on an awesome white brick exterior, which is one of my favorites. I think I kind of love doing this in all the builds on the outside, so you'll see. On the inside, I think we went with a pretty natural white, yeah, just to keep it looking clean and awesome. And we do, believe we do the white brick on the inside upstairs as well. Did have some issues with the painting against the roof, the walls on the inside. Because it's against roof tiles, it doesn't actually allow you to paint there, which is kind of annoying. But with the awesome half wall tools, see, I could actually create this little space, put in the white brick coloring, and it kind of just worked so beautifully. See, yeah, put the little edging there, little trim on the wall, and then the same brick wall paint as the rest of the room and the outside, which I think worked pretty well. Yeah, that was cool. And I think what we also did here was just use a plain sort of light wood flooring on the top there. yeah, and I think we kind of followed that same idea in the rest of the little house as well. Then I started to put in some furniture here. Of course, we're trying to promote the tiny living stuff pack items, so that's what came with this little tiny teensy little desk that can fit a single desk that can fit in there, and a single tiny living bed. Could have used the Murphy beds, but decided not to. This build is really meant for more of a single sim. You know, I kind of wanted this attic to be like this messy, you know, artist attic with all these cool, you know, canvases and everything in the background. You can see I tried to get that in here. I thought it looked really cool, but in the end, because this is a starter home, I had to get rid of that stuff, you know, to save on the expense. So it's just going to be a pretty basic starter home for the aspiring artist. Yeah, eventually we get to that. Yeah, and then we had to get in on the bathroom here. Decided to go for a teal kind of tile look, the walls and the floors eventually. Yeah, that was cool, and then the white wooden flooring and the rest of the house. So that was cool. Oh yeah, outside with this platform. So I thought it would look cool to add the half wall trim, because this is a single, you know, platform tile. You assume a sim can walk over it, but as we'll soon find out, you can't really walk over the half walls. So yeah, that had to be removed in the end, but it still worked out pretty cool. I think it still looked pretty cool in the end. So yeah, can't do certain things with all the platforms. Yeah, that was an interesting one. And then the bathroom. You'll be surprised to know that you can't actually do all that much with a 2x2 bathroom. To have a fully functional 2x2 bathroom with a shower, a basin, and a toilet, and actually get the sim to be able to move around in the space. That was a fun little challenge, and we'll see that, you know, because the toilet and the basin on their own take up so much space and need like 2 tiles to be able to use and function pretty well, and then you got the shower as well, and that needs its own 2 tiles. So yeah, this was a bit of a challenge getting everything to fit, but it is possible. It is possible. We did figure that out. So yeah, I had to bring in my sim to come and actually test this out, and she's very uncomfortable because the whole place isn't done yet and not decorated, so not very happy with that. Oh yes, first challenge, couldn't get over the little platform walls, so I had to remove the half walls there. And then eventually she was able to go and take a step up. Congratulations. Into the house, couldn't get into the bathroom, so yeah, I had to move things around a little bit. Finally ended up putting the toilet in and moving it right to the end using the alt cheat. Yeah, there we go, right to the corner, and hurrah! Able to take a shower and use the bathroom, and all was well with the world. Okay, time to get up. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Then we could continue with the rest of the room. Gotta make this thing functional, you know? No point in building a place that isn't actually functional. So yeah, I went with the tiny living bathroom mirror in there. Gotta have the little toilet roll thing and your towel. I think eventually we did end up exchanging the towel for the tiny living bathroom shelf that was included in the pack as well. So that you'll get to see. Gotta have a little rug in the bathroom. I mean, this is cold tiles. You can't walk around in the cold tiles with no rug. And just getting in some lighting there so you're able to see what we're doing. Right, and then we started taking a look at what are we gonna actually use. Try to see the Murphy beds, what it would kind of look like in here. But because there was already a single bed upstairs, I mean, it didn't make sense for there to be another bed, and this was only for a single sim anyway. So rather make the most of the space by creating a little living room kind of area. So eventually we ended up trying the tiny living television sets. So there's 2 here. The one's a wall mounted one and the other one's a standalone one. I think eventually we ended up with a standalone. And that's also a tiny living sofa set. And played around with the different coffee tables. Wasn't too much of a fan of this. put in that bookcase, which is also a tiny living bookcase. Kind of matches the rest of the furniture, which is pretty cool. There aren't tiny living tables, like dining tables, so I actually had to get this in the miscellaneous section. It's like a high bar table kind of thing with these high stools. So yeah, had to use that in the end, but I think it looks pretty cool. It fits with the look and feel of the rest of the flat. And because we started running out of money, so we were already down to like 600 here, so we had to use the cheaper of the furnitures to complete the build. This was one of the cheaper fridges, not the worst I don't think though, and the cheaper countertops as well, and the stove as well, to save on our monies. So gotta remember, this is a starter home. It turned out looking pretty cool, I think, but yeah, still a starter home, so that your sim doesn't have to cheat their way into this cute little micro home. Once you've created them and create a sim and you bring them out, they get to come into this little house and chill and be awesome without worrying about any cheats or anything. I think there's even still money to spare, so you can get yourself off the ground in your painting or gardening career, whatever you choose. Yeah, added the cabinets and everything, which I think finishes the kitchen off quite nicely. So in the end, ended up going for the standalone TV cabinet, which worked pretty cool. Yeah, trying to figure out the coffee table. Ended up going for the tiny living coffee table as well, which I think worked. And then, you know, gotta have something on the windows as well, so figured out the pretty basic curtains here, and pretty much the same style used all along this floor. Yeah, so that worked pretty well. Oh yeah, I couldn't figure out the rugs in this room. Eventually ended up putting the cool little rug set under the countertops there, and then getting rounded carpet for the TV room. And a little more clutter here and there, whatever we could afford to add. Work to put on the lighting. Oh yes, this is also used tiny living ceiling lights for this, which I thought fitted quite nicely over the coffee table there. Yeah, there they are. And yes, there was a shelf that we decided to put in the kitchen as well, and that was the best fit for it, to be honest. In the so I see it as a suspended from the cabinet shelving unit, and we had enough for some cute little flower frames on the wall as well. Oh, this was the extra bathroom shelf, tiny living bathroom shelf we added as well. I think we ended up going with a Kotuk, yeah we did, yeah. On that side, just to make it look a little more lived in. So all the content in this is all base game and tiny living stuff packs, so you won't need any other packs or any other expansions or anything to be able to use this build, which I will include the link to in the description. Yeah, just making things a little more pretty. And then the upstairs, we forgot to add a dresser, so we still got to add a dresser. Ended up going for the skinny dresser, I think, also to save on funds. I think we moved that little tiny coffee table in the end as well, save on our funds. But yeah, we got a cute little attic room, fully functional. Our sim can move around. I'll show you in the end. We'll have a bit of a walkthrough and see how cute this little tiny micro home turns out being. Alright, and then had to give a bit of landscaping to the outside. So yeah, added a couple of cool trees, mostly debug items, because check our funds at this stage, we're sitting at like 400. So yeah, I had to use mostly debug items here for, and thank goodness for debug items. And you see I've got like 5 visible rows here. This is with just a Mexie's organized debuild by debug thing, which is like, it's just makes things so much easier for a builder. I'll include the link to that as well in the description. It's just so awesome to use and so easy to find things, and have this kind of open catalog of debug items, you know, wherever you're looking for trees or shrubs or rocks or flowers. You know, everything's just so much easier to find. So yeah, I had a little collection of little bushes and plants and everything. Decided to go with 2 little fruit trees. You know, there's an aspiring gardener, so we had to include a little bit of a planter box to, and I think we added a couple of veggies as well. Which veggies did we ended up going for? I think we had mushroom, mushroom, spinach, and then I think carrots and probably potato. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, and obviously we got us some to actually plant those veggies. So when you do get the pack of the plants or the veggies already planted, they're already there. And then I love this little terrain tool with the stones. I thought they were cute little additions. So yeah, to get to the little planter box, decided to use the same idea in the front of the house once I saw how those looked pretty cool. So yeah, eventually we see that and try to do the same thing in front here, make this pathway look a little less sort of man-made, constructed. And tried a couple of different terrain tools here, see how the edges would look. Nothing really worked, so tried this thing with the stepping stones as well, and I kind of liked how this turned out in the end. Yeah, I think it looked pretty cool, just neaten things up a little bit there. Yeah, just got all the little rockies in and then neatened it up a little bit. And I think the end result looked pretty cool as like a kind of a walkway. So that's it, that's our house. Now to take you through it. Alright guys, we're gonna take a walk through our house. This is how it looks on the outside. Here's our sim we've created especially for this build. She is an aspiring artist. She's just moved into the neighborhood and purchased the starter micro home. So let's see what it looks like on the inside. So here we got all our awesome pavings on the outside, pretty little flowers in the bushes, and then our platform step into the house. And once we get in here, yeah, this is our little place from the inside. Check it. Got our sim already in here watching TV. And then we got our, check, there's little stools and the bar table. There we got our fridge, our cabinet space, and our kitchen. Yeah, and then around the little wall here, this is your entry to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom first. Yes. A little toilet seat there. Had to cramp everything in, but it all works. It's all functional. And our shower in the basin. And then here is our ladder to the upstairs. So let's go on up. And this is the attic. Look how cool. Tiny space. Like literally it is a 1x3. I just managed to get the bed in and the easel in on the side where the actual windows are. So check here, look at this beautiful view. Stunning view that you get of the neighborhood. You got your bed and your little desk and your easel, and check while you're painting. Beautiful view. Your son has this beautiful view of the neighborhood. It's awesome. And your little dresser. Too cool. And yeah, this is how you get up here. It's so sweet. Okay, so let's go back down. Down the ladder we go. Gotta go down backwards, otherwise you fall. So yeah. And then outside the back, that's a little tiny home, man. You got your little fruit trees and your little vegetable planter. And that's it. That's our beautiful little home. Yeah. See it from there, all the way this side, the windows. That's our home, guys. The video files will be available for download in the description from the Sims Gallery. Yeah, all you need to play this house is literally the base game and Tiny Living Stuff Pack, because that's what we looked at this week. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, remember to give it the good old thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Bye!